Brilliant. So we're standing at the back of the mats, feet together, turning toes out, followed by heels, so feet are hip width apart, tracking straight and parallel to each other. Soft through the knees, hips facing forward, shoulders round and down and ears over the shoulders. Placing the hands on the hips, and we're going to rock that pelvis forward and back. Imagine you're sloshing the water out the back and out the front. Finding the halfway point between the two, nice neutral spine position. Placing the hands over the rib cage and drawing the shoulders down the back. Nice deep breath in through the nose, feel the rib cage expanding, and out through the mouth. So while we continue with this deep lateral breathing, imagine that belt around your waist, drawing the side towards each other and pulling the belly button back towards the spine. And at the same time, feel those pelvic floor muscles like a lift coming up. 1, 2, and 3. So tightness through the whole core region, but you can keep with that deep lateral breathing. Relaxing the arms down by your side. We're going to start with some nice forward shoulder rolls. It's nice and slow, just loosening off any tightness in those shoulders. One more time, forward, and then we're going to reverse up to the ears, over the mountain and down the other side, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Nice deep breaths, one more time, and we're going to relax the shoulders down the back, arms hanging by your side. We're going to float those arms out to the side, all the way up to the ceiling, drawing those shoulders down the back, and push the air away as we bring the arms back down. Good, one more time. In breath, locking those shoulders down the back as we float the arms up towards the ceiling. Palms facing each other. We're going to reach the right arm up to touch the ceiling and draw the shoulder blade down the back. Reaching the left arm up to touch the ceiling and slide that shoulder blade down your back. We're dropping the arms back to shoulder height. Bend the elbows. Place the hands behind the head and interlock the fingers. Shrug those shoulders up to your ears, draw the shoulder blades down the back and squeeze those elbows towards each other, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Unlock the fingers, bring the palms facing away from you, bring the hands down behind the body and feel that lovely stretch through your chest. Good. One more time, in breath, floating the arms back up to shoulder height. Bend the elbows and interlock the hands. Shrug the shoulders up to your ears. Draw those shoulder blades down the back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Unlock your fingers, palms facing away from you. Bring the hands down behind the body so you're feeling that stretch through the front of the chest. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Interlock the fingers, turn them inside out and lift them up towards the ceiling, just increasing that stretch through the front of the chest. Don't tip forward with the upper body. Keep the ears over the shoulder. Good, and relax the hands and give it a shrug off. Good. So into the next stretch, we're going to drop left ear to left shoulder, right arm behind the back, left hand over the head, and just gently feeling that stretch down the side of the neck, across the top of the shoulder. Nice deep breath in and out. Good, then we can drop the hands, but drop the chin to the chest here. And then you're rubbing the chin along the chest again. Don't tip forward with the upper body. Just stretching out any of those muscles at the back of the neck that are tight. Ending up with right ear over right shoulder, left arm behind the back, right hand over the head, and again, just gently increasing that stretch. Good. Nice gentle pull. Deep breath in and out, and then chin to chest, and again, rub the chin along the chest. Keep those shoulder blades back, drawn together. ending up with left ear over left shoulder and coming back to the center. Brilliant. So into the roll down. On the in breath, we're drawing the belly button to spine. On the out breath, chin to chest, and we're peeling that vertebra off the imaginary wall behind you, scooping that belly button to spine. Arms hanging, head hanging, weighting you all the way down to the floor. Either going to hook the fingers under the toes or place the palms flat on the floor. And we're going to straighten through the right knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through the left knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through both knees, head hanging, drawing the shoulders down the back. Deep breath in and out. And then soften through the knees, scoop the belly button to spine. We're rounding back up, stacking that spine one vertebra at a time. Come up to standing and roll those shoulders back. Brilliant. So we're starting with our weights. If you're using different sized weights, you can start with the heavier ones and then we can move on into the lighter ones. So just checking the knees are soft and that core's engaged, your neutral spine position. Elbows tucked into your side. Palms to the ceiling. We're going to keep those elbows squeezing into your side and open the hands out and close. Good. So the aim here is to be squeezing those shoulder blades together at the back. For 3 and close. Good. For 4 and close. 5 and close. Good. So keep working. We're working those muscles in between the shoulder blades, which help to keep our shoulders back. And for 7. Good. 8 more. So for 8 and close. 7 and close. Good. For 6 and close. 5 and close. 4 more. 4 and close. 3, slide those shoulder blades along the back. For 2 and last ones here. Close back up. Let those arms have a shrug off. Brilliant. So into the bicep curl, palms facing away from you. Again, locking those elbows in. We're coming up to the shoulders for 15 and 14, for 13 and 12. Locking those shoulders down the back. 11 and 10. Strong through that core. For 9 and 8, 7, squeeze those elbows in. For 6 and 5, 4, 3 more. For 3 and 2, good. Last one here. Down and shrug those arms off. Brilliant. We're going into the upright row. So if you've been using heavier weights, I've come to the lighter ones. Palms facing towards the thigh. We're going to bring the hands up to the shoulders and lift the elbows as high as possible and push away. Good. For 14 and push away. So again, we're working on keeping those shoulders locked down. 11 and away. Good. For 10 and away. We're going to speed it up a bit. For 9 and away. 8. Controlling the lifting and the lowering. For 6 and away. 5. Trying to lift those elbows as high as possible. 3 more. And 2. Good. Last one. Push away and shrugging those arms off. Brilliant. Keeping the palms facing the thigh. We're going to bring the arms straight out in front and lower. Good. Remember with this one, you want to keep your core really locked so you're not pulling on that lower back. And lower. Good. For 4. Now if you've got heavy weights, just keep doing the straight lift and lower. If you've got lighter weights, we're going to pulse it. So hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. And straight out. We're pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. 2 more sets of the pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. Last one. And we're pulsing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. Shrugging those shoulders off. Brilliant. We're taking the arms out to the side now and lower. Good. Remember, if it starts to feel a bit heavy or a bit much, bend those elbows. Out and down. Good. Last one, and then again, heavy weights, keep going. Lighter weights, we're going to circle. So forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. Take them back out. We're circling backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. One more each way. Arms up, forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. Last one. Arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Excellent. Burning. Okay, we're going to the tricep kick back. So bent knees, keep the ears over the shoulder. Hands at the front of the shoulders, elbows behind the body. The elbows stay there and we're kicking back for 15 and 14 for 13. Good. 2 more and then we're going to go into the pulsings. Last one, and then on the next one, we're holding it back and pulsing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. Remember, if it gets too heavy, just keep going with the bringing forward and back. 4, 5, and forward. Good. 2 more of these. Reach it back and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. Last one. Reach back and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. Good. Relax those hands down. Give the neck a gentle stretch. One more. We're working the top of the shoulder here. Hands in front, holding the glasses of water. We're going to pour the water down the sink and center. Good. For 14 and center. 13 and center. Remember, if you want to make it harder, you can hold the hands to the elbows just in front of the body. 11 and 10. Good. For 9, lift those elbows up. And 8. For 7 and 6. For 5 and 4. Good. 3 more. 3 and 2. Last one here. Reach those elbows up and we can put the weights down. I want you to give those arms nice big circles. I'm opening a window. It's warmed up a bit in here. Nice big circles forward and back. And then we're coming to sitting on the ball. Good. So feet and knees are a bit wider than hip width apart. Reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling and relaxing the shoulders down the back. So we're going to slide the right hand down the ball and then reach the left arm over the top. Keep the ball centered and in breath to change arms. So left hand down, right hand up, lengthen through the waist and over into that left side bend. Good. And center back up. One more time to each side. But as you bring the arm over, we're going to slide those hips over to the left. So the opposite direction to the arms going. And center, right arm up to the ceiling, slide the hip to the right as you reach the arm over to the left. Keep the arms to the ceiling. We're going to bring the left one up as well. We're going to turn to the left, bring the left hand down towards the right hip, so the opposite hip. The right hand comes down towards the left knee. Good. Crown of the head to the ceiling, so you make sure you're lifting up nice and tall, and then turn to face the back of the room and use the hand on the board to increase that stretch. Good. Both arms up to the ceiling. We're going to go right hand to the left side, left hand to the outside of the right knee, crown of the head to the ceiling first, and then rotation, look to the back of the room. Good. Arms up to the ceiling and relax it down onto your thighs. So we're going to come down to lying on the ball now. So ball at the back of the mat. And we're going to C-curve that spine and starting to roll down, lumbar, thoracic. Make sure your head is comfortably on that board. Don't have it hanging over the back. The hips are lifted as high as you can get them, but drop the rib cage down. And we're floating right and left arm up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. On the in-breath, we're floating the back of the hands down towards the floor. Let the chest open nice and wide. Reach the hands to touch the floor. And on the out-breath, we're floating back up to the ceiling again. Good. One more time. In-breath, take the back of the hands down towards the floor. Good. Again, just letting that chest open nice and wide. Let those arms hang towards the floor. And we're floating the arms back up to the ceiling again. Palms facing away from you. We're going right arm up above the head, left hand down. Circle all the way round and back up to the ceiling again. Keep those hips lifted, rib cage down. Left arm comes up, right hand down. Circle all the way round and back up to the ceiling again. We're doing double arms down to the feet first. Circle round, up above the head and up to the ceiling. We're reversing, so we're coming up above the head first. Take your time. Feel those shoulders moving through their full range of movement there. Back up to the ceiling again. We're placing the palms back onto the front of our thigh. We'll come up from the chin to chest, come up chin to chest, and we're going to push back onto the ball till the ball is sitting into our lumbar spine. Now remember with this one, if you want to work a bit harder, come higher up on the ball. If it feels too much, just drop the ball down a little bit. We're going to place the hands behind the head, keeping the elbows wide. On the in-breath, keeping the chin to the chest, we're going to lie back over the ball, but keep the back of the head in line with the spine. Don't let it drop below the spine. Draw the belly button to spine. We're curling up for 10 and lower. For 9, so we should be really feeling it through our core here. If not, come up higher on the ball for 8 and lower. Keep those elbows wide. You're not pulling your head up for 7 and lower. 6 more. Curl up and lower. Good. 5 more. Breathing out, and check as you come up, is your belly button drawn in or is it popping up? If it's popping up, draw that belly button to spine. For 3, and lower. For 2, and lower. Good. Last one here. Draw that belly button to spine. Stay up. We can just drop down over our legs, push back through the legs so they're nice and straight. That's it, yeah. And just drop down over your legs. Brilliant. So the legs are straight, you're pushing back through the ball, just hinging from the hips a little bit. Excellent. So we're going to come off the ball onto all fours. So just sliding the ball away for a bit. Onto all fours. Knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders, belly button scoop to the spine. Good. So on the in-breath, we're rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulders away from the spine. On the out-breath, lengthen tail and crown. Keep the belly button drawn in as we feed on through into that back extension. Good. In-breath, rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulders away from the spine. On the out-breath, lengthen tail and crown. Feet on into that back extension. We're holding that back extension, just feeling that lovely stretch. And we're just going to flex off now. So rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling and coming back to your neutral spine position. Slide the left leg back, tuck that left toe underneath you, drop the left hip down. We're pushing back through the hands, take the heel to the floor. Remember, you can come onto forearms here if it feels too much through the wrists. Keep the back of the head in line with the spine, shoulders down the back. For 8, 7, 6, keep the pressure on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that left knee in. Good. We're sliding the right leg back. Drop the right hip down. Push back through the hands. Heel to the floor. Remember to keep the back of the head in line with that spine. And we're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that right knee in straight into the hip drops. We're taking both knees over to the right. Look over the left shoulder at your feet. Good. In breath to center and then hips over to the left. Good. Controlling the movement. Remember, this is a stretch, so you want to drop those hips as low as possible, that you're feeling that stretch through the pelvis. Don't let the left knee lift up off the floor. Keep that down, otherwise you're losing the stretch. You could always take your knees a little bit wider apart to increase the stretch a little bit. And back up to the center again. Good. We're going into thread and needle. So we're going to take the right back of the hand to the floor. Feed it through the gap. Take the head and shoulder down to the floor. Roll onto your back. Eyes to the ceiling. Brilliant. Jane, you all right lying on your side for the perfect? Okay. Good. And we're coming back up onto all fours again. We're going to take the left back of the hand through the gap, head and shoulder down, roll back on that shoulder, eyes to the ceiling. And remember, roll back onto that shoulder a bit more if you want to increase that stretch. Good. coming back up. We're going to do one more time to each side, but this time we're going to progress it slightly. So we're taking the back of the hand through, head and shoulder down, and then take that left back of the hand onto the floor, up above your head. Again, roll back onto the right shoulder. Nice deep breath in and out, and we're coming back up to the center again. Left back of the hand through the gap, head and shoulder down, eyes to the ceiling. Take the right top and back of the hand onto the floor. Roll back onto that left shoulder to increase the stretch. Good. And coming back up onto all fours. We're going to sit back on our heels, head down to the mat. And then we're going to walk the hands round to the left, reaching the right hand away from you. Keep the right seat bone down into your heel, so you're getting that lovely stretch from the top of the pelvis all the way up through that right side into the right shoulder. Center back up again, and then walking the hands round to the right, reaching that left arm away from you. Weight down into that or towards that left seat bone. Good. Back to the center again, and then we're going to scoop the belly button to spine as we round back up, stacking that spine. Good job, everyone. So coming to sitting, legs out in a V, nice and wide V. As I say, you should be feeling a bit of a pull through that inner thigh. Crown of the head up to the ceiling. If you feel you're a bit scrunched and you can't get straight, pop yourself onto a pillow or a block if you've got one, so we can sit nice and tall. Good. Flexion through the feet. We're taking the arms out to the side at shoulder height. We're turning to the left. We're going to hinge forward, the little finger to the outside of the little toe, and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Come back up and center. Good. We're turning to the right, hinging forward, and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Come back up and center. We're doing it one more time to each side. This time, look at your back hand. So going to the left and sawing for 3, 2, 1. Back up and center. Good. To the right. Look at your back hand. Palm down, and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Come back up and center. I feel like we're at Wimbledon saying, look at your back hand. Good. Roll those shoulders. We're going to grab the balls. Sorry, I meant to say have them handy. If you need to move, don't worry. I'm going to sit sideways so you can see me a bit better. So ball in the center of the V. We're going to have the hands on the side. We're going to roll the ball forward, and we're going to hinge from the hips and drop the head between the ball. Remember, you're looking for length here rather than rounding down, nice and long. We're going to roll the ball over the right toe, look up underneath the left arm up to the ceiling. Good. Roll the ball across the front, trying to drop a little bit lower to the floor. Bring the ball over the left foot, looking up underneath the right arm to the ceiling. Brilliant. One more time to each side, each time trying to get a bit lower to the floor. Good. Over the right foot, look up underneath the left arm to the ceiling. So you're resting the ball on your toe and look up underneath the arm. Good. And we're going over to the left. So rest that ball on your toe. Look up underneath the arm, up towards the ceiling. Good. And then bring the ball back to the center. Again, bring the hands on top of the ball now. Try and drop down between the arms. This is a really lovely stretch. And then scoop belly button to spine, rounding back up, stacking that spine. Again, we'll just move the ball to the side for a bit. Come towards the front of your mat. Knees are bent. Knees and feet hip width apart. Holding the arms out in front, crown of the head to the ceiling. Good. So scooping the belly button to the spine, we're C-curving that back and we're rolling down, we're coming down lumbar, thoracic, take the head down, reach the arms over the top, back of the hands onto the floor, the legs are lengthened and we're flexing through those feet, so drawing the toes back towards your kneecaps. Just having a little, just taking your mind now to where your lumbar spine is. Just feel if it's feeling a bit tight, lifting up away from the floor. And we're going to reach that left hand back to touch the wall behind you at the same time, lengthening that left leg away and relax. We're going to do right arm, right leg, lengthening away. And relax, left arm, left leg lengthened. And relax, right arm, right leg lengthening away. And relax, and see now if that back is relaxed a little bit into the mat. We're going to bend the knees, bring the arms down by your side. Knees and feet are hip width apart. The heel is about 1.5 hands length away from your glutes. Good, so into the shoulder bridge here. So when you're ready, deep breath in, drawing the belly button to spine, slide the chin towards the chest. On the out breath, we're peeling that pelvis, curling the vertebra one at a time, pushing forward through the fronts of the thighs, squeezing the glutes as we come up into the shoulder bridge position. Hips lifted, rib cage down. Check there's no tension in the neck and shoulders, and then on the out breath, we're going to come back down, one vertebra at a time, keeping that pelvis curled up until the end. Good, one more time, deep breath in as you breathe out. We're curling that pelvis up off the mat, peeling the vertebra one at a time. Hips lifted, ribs down as we come up into that shoulder bridge position. We're going to drop those hips 4 centimeters and squeeze and lift back up. And drop and lift. Good. So for 8 and lift. Remember just the hips, not the rib cage. The rib cage stays down. For 6 and lift. 5, you should be feeling it through your glutes. If you're not, I want you to squeeze and lift a bit higher. For 4 and 3, 2 more. For 2 and last one here, lift back up. And then we're coming back down, one vertebra at a time, keeping that pelvis curled up until the end. Good. Deep breath in as we breathe out. We're curling that pelvis, peeling the vertebra one at a time. Squeeze through the glutes, pushing forward through the front of the thighs as we come up into the shoulder bridge position. Hips lifted, rib cage down. From here, we're going to open the knees, but not rolling onto the side of the feet. The feet stay flat on the floor. And then we're going to touch the knees together. So for 9, open and touch. 8, try not to let your hips move. 7, as in lifting up and down. For 6, and close. 5, and close. Good. 4, should be feeling it in the glutes. If not, lift those hips a little higher. For 3, open and close. For 2, last one, close, knees back to hip width apart. We're coming back down one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up until the end. We're going to hug those knees into your chest, rock from side to side, and loosen that back off. Good job. Okay, so we're going to take the knees and feet back down to the mat. Keep the feet and knees closed together. Arms up to the side, palms to the ceiling. On the out breath, controlling the movement, we're going to take both knees down to the right. The feet are stacked on top of each other. The head goes to the left. We're going to lengthen that left leg over the right knee, toe towards the floor. Good, really trying to lengthen and get that floor up, the foot as low down to the floor as possible. And head going over to that left. Brilliant. Just breathing through that stretch. And then we're going to stack knees and ankles and take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Good. On the out breath, we're going to go both knees to the left, head goes to the right. Lengthening that right leg over the left knee, toe towards the floor. Breathing through the stretch. If you want to increase it, you can take the toe to the ceiling. Good. And then stacking knees and ankles, take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. We're going to float the left leg up into tabletop, locking that lumbar spine into the mat, keeping a hip width distance between the knee, and we're going to take both knees over to the right, control it, don't let it flop down, count to 3 to lower. And then on the out breath, take the lumbar spine to the mat as you count to 3 to bring it back up to the center. Again, we're changing legs. Right leg up, left leg down. On the out breath, both legs over to the left. Again, control the movement. Head goes to the right. Good, for 3, 2, 1, and then on the out breath, take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Now, if you're happy to progress it, we're going to take both legs up. If you feel it pulling on your back, go back to single legs. We're taking both legs over to the right. Control it for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. Don't let the knees touch the floor. Keep them hovering and take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up again. Good. On the out breath, both knees to the left for 3, for 2, for 1. Keep the knees hovering. Lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Now, if you want to work a bit harder, take those knees out a little bit away from the hips. But if you feel that's pulling on your back, bring those knees back over the hips or even up to your chest. And center back up again. Good. And last time, over to the left, controlling that movement for 3, 2, 1. And center for 1, 2, and 3. Good. Hugging those knees in. So we're going into the single leg stretch. I'm just going to show you quickly, coming up from the breastbone. You can, of course, support your head or you can keep your head down. Okay, the options are there. Most importantly, at all times, that lumbar spine stays into the mat. Okay, so we're going to float right, left leg, lock that back down into the mat. Come up from the breastbone, look through your knees, draw the belly button to spine. We're lengthening the right leg, tap the left knee for 8 and change. For 7 and 7, good. For 6 and 6, draw the chin to your chest. For 5 and 5, don't forget to support your head if you need to. For 4, good. For 3 and 3. For 2 and 2. Last one to each side. We're going to stay lifted, leave the legs in tabletop, and we're going to take the hands behind head and into the crisscross. So lengthen the right leg, take right rib to left hip, and center. Good. And then left rib to right hip. And remember, don't throw yourself from side to side. Make sure you come to a stop in the middle. Breathing out to cross, in breath to center. Good, for 6 and 6. Of course, take your head down if you feel your neck hurting, for 5 and 5. And remember, you're cradling your head, not pulling it up, for 4 and 4. Good, 3 more to each side. You can do it, for 3 and 3. Good. 2 more. Draw that belly button in. And 2. Last ones here. And 1. Excellent. Hug those knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Good work, everyone. And just loosening that back off. That's great. Okay, so if you remember from last term, we're going to do the catch and release of the ball. So grabbing your balls, having them between the calves there, locking the lumbar spine into your mat. And then we're going to straighten those legs up towards the ceiling, locking that back down. We're going to open the legs and catch the ball and throw the ball back up and catch between the legs. Good. Release and catch. Good. For 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Hug those knees in. We can let the ball go for a sec. Take those knees shoulder width apart and just loosening off that back. Brilliant. Nice deep breath in and out. And we're going to take the knees and feet back down to the floor, hip width apart. Arms relax down and by your side. So we're lengthening the left leg away. At the same time, we're taking that right arm up above the head, pointing through the toe. We take the leg up to the ceiling, chin to chest, come up from the breastbone. We're taking hold of that calf and drawing it towards your nose. Good. Now keeping hold of the leg, we're going to lower the head back down to the mat and we're going to start to point and flex through the foot. Good. Point and flex. Good. 3 more times. Point and flex. Last time. Point and flex. And we're going to lower the left leg down, bringing the right arm up above the head and sliding back to the center again. Good. So slide that right leg away. Left arm comes up above the head, pointing through the toe. Take the leg up towards the ceiling. Come up from the breastbone, chin to chest. Take hold of that calf. Draw the shoulders down your back. Bend those elbows a little bit. Good. Keep hold of the leg. We're lowering the head back down to the floor, chin to chest. And we're pointing and flexing through the foot. Good. Point and flex. Good. 3 more times. Point and flex. Keep the pressure on. Point and flex. Good. Last one here. Point and flex. And then we're lowering the right leg to the floor. Left arm comes up above the head. And we're centering back up again. Good. We're going to cross the left leg now over the right. So the knees are meeting at the middle. Arms out. So actually cross them all the way. There shouldn't be a gap between the 2 knees. The knees want to be on top of each other. Arms out to the side, palms to the ceiling. We're going to take both legs over to the left. Head goes to the right. Good. Use that top leg to just weight that lower leg down, just to increase that stretch. We're going to have 3 nice deep breaths in and out. Good, last one, nice deep breath in and out. And we're centering those knees back up again. Slide the ankle back onto the knee now. And then we're going to draw that right leg up towards your chest. Now, if you struggle to get the right leg up off the floor, use your ball. Have the calf on the ball and use the ball to help you here. And then we're going to roll onto that right side ever so slightly to increase that stretch a bit. Shoulders relaxed and down your back. Good, just breathing through that. Slide the chin towards your chest. For 3, 2, 1, and center those legs and take the feet back down to the floor. So this time we're going to cross the right knee over the left, arms to the side, palms to the ceiling. We take both knees down to the right, head goes to the left. Good, and again, just breathing through that stretch, gently weighting that top leg onto the bottom leg. That just helps to increase that stretch a little bit. Good, and then take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Slide the ankle back onto the knee. We're drawing that knee up towards your chest. We want to feel that nice stretch through that right glute piriformis muscle. So keep that the right knee at right angles, and we're going to slide onto our left side, just slightly to increase that stretch. Good, keeping the chin towards the chest. Good. 3, 2, 1, and we're centering back up again. Take both feet down towards the floor. We're going to roll onto our sides and we're going to come up to kneeling with the ball. So we're going to actually lie over the ball. So when you're ready, we're coming up to lying over the ball. The wrists are underneath the shoulders. The toes are tucked underneath you and on the floor. You want to lift that belly button up away from the ball. So we've got our nice neutral spine position here. Good. Okay. So we're going to point through the left toe. Reach that left leg back and up to hip height. Good, and lower back down and tucking it back in. We're going to point through the right toe. Reach it back and up. Good, lower back down and tucking it back in. Now we're going to do opposite arm and leg. So left leg, right arm, reaching forward and back. Good, lower back down and slide it back in. Right toe, left hand, reaching forward and back. Strong through the core. Keep that belly button lifted. Lower back down and sliding back in. Brilliant. One more time to each side. Right hand, left leg, reaching forward and back. Good. And lower. And tuck underneath, left arm, right leg, forward and back. Good, and lower, and tuck underneath. Good, hands stay down. We're pointing through the left toe, reaching it back and up. Bend the knee, flex the foot. Take the foot to the ceiling. Lengthen the leg away. And lower back down. Good. So pointing through the right toe, reaching it back and up. Bend the knee, flex the foot, lift to the ceiling. Keep the knee lifted as you lengthen the leg away and lower back down. Good. One more time to each side. Point through the toe, lift, bend the knee, flex the foot, take it up to the ceiling. Keep it lifted and lengthen. Keep it lifted as you lengthen it, and lower back down and tuck underneath. Check the belly buttons lifted from the ball. We're pointing through the right toe, taking it back and up. Bend the knee, flex the foot, up to the ceiling. Lengthen as you keep that leg lifted up and lower back down. We're going to walk fractionally over the ball, but so that the feet are still touching. The toes are still touching the floor. You're just coming fractionally more over. Check the belly button is lifted from the ball and it stays there. Don't let yourselves hollow through the back. We're going to point both toes now. Keeping the belly button lifted. We're taking both legs up to the ceiling. Good. Bend the knees. Flex the feet. Lift the knees up. Keep the knees lifted as you lengthen the legs. Check where that belly button is. And lower back down. Good. One more time. Take the legs up to hip height, squeezing those glutes. Bend the knees. Flex the feet. Take the feet to the ceiling. Lengthen the legs away. And lower back down. Keeping the legs lengthened, we're bringing the legs back up to hip height. Take the heels together and the toes out. Check where your belly button is on the ball. And we're going to open and close those legs for 10 and close. 9, squeeze those glutes. 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2, last one. Brilliant. Come back down. Give the ball a hug, rounding that back off. Good job, everyone. Okay, so we're taking the feet back. The knees. No, we're not. We're just going to have that ball a fraction longer. Sorry. Brain ran away from me there. Okay, so we're coming back over the ball, but this time we're not having the hands down. So you want the legs nice and wide behind, being your stabilizing on this ball. The knees can be bent slightly, and obviously the ball sitting underneath the chest, so we can lift that chest away. Diamond shape hands onto the ball, and the nose to the front of the ball. From here, keeping the hands on the ball, we're going to come up, lengthening the back of the neck, come up from the chest, draw the shoulders down your back, and lift the front of the hips up away from the ball. So making sure we're keeping that neutral spine. Good, and lower back down again one more time. So from here, draw the shoulders down the back, lengthen through the back of the neck, come up, lift the front of the hips up away from the ball, and lower back down. Now this time we're going to have the hands at shoulder height. So on the out breath, hands up to the shoulders, as we lengthen through the back of the neck, squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you, lift the front of the hips up, and lower back down. Good. On the out breath, coming up into the W arms. Good. From here now, we're going to take the arms out to the side, reach them back towards your heels, lift the front of the hips up off the mat, W arms, and lower. Good. One more time. Up into the W. Good. Reach the arms out to the side and back towards your heels. Lift the front of the hips up off the ball. Back to W. And lower back down. Excellent. We can just have a little roll on the ball. Now the choice is yours. We've got 3 variations here. We're going to do the plank. So you could use the ball if you really hate planking and find it hard. Use the ball. So just walk out over the ball until you feel you're in a good plank position. If you think it's a bit easy, walk a bit further and hold your plank. Or we can do it on the floor. So straight forearm plank, or you can do the side variety, okay? So the choice is yours. We're going to do 10 seconds twice, okay? So when you're ready, choose your poison. I'm going to do the side one. So we're going to come up into your plank, good. And we're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Sit back on your heels if you want to. If you're in the side plank, we'll get into position for the other side. So when you're ready, we're coming back to our planking. Remember to keep the shoulders down your back. If you're doing the side one, waist lifted for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sitting back on your heels. Take your knees nice and wide. So big toes are together. Walk the hands forward. Just opening up through the top of the back. Might even feel a little bit in the hip flexors here. Breathing through that. I'm going to walk the hands back, rounding up through that thoracic back. Bring the balls in front of you. So Jane, we're going to do the psoas muscle stretch. I don't know if you want to come straight. You're not going to do that one. Okay. So either do standing or just roll onto your back and do the quad stretch, sideline quad stretch. And then you can also hug your knee to your chest and then do the other side, okay? All right, so from here we're going to have the ball, the right leg to the inside of the ball. Lean down, give that ball a hug, and we're just lengthening that left leg away. So we're not tucking the toe under yet. We're just sliding that left leg back till you start to feel a stretch through that hip flexor. The front of the left thigh there. Tuck the left toe underneath you, and we're straightening now through that back leg. Take the heel towards the floor, and then you can come up through the chest, driving that left hip down towards the floor. Good, and we're holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the left knee down towards the mat. We're going to straighten through the front leg now, lifting the toes up. Hinge forward. You can take the right hand to the floor. Hinge forward. Remember your weight, you want to be almost trying to sit down on that left heel. So you're sort of hanging back with the weight. Hinging forward over the right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back onto your knees. We're changing sides now. So left front of the knee, inside of the ball. Give the ball a hug and slide that right leg back till you start to feel a stretch through the front of that right thigh, really at the top of that right thigh. Tuck the toe underneath you, straighten through that back leg, and then if you want to, you can come up from the chest, so you're driving that right hip down into the floor, and we're holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the knee back down, top of the foot on the floor, straighten through that front leg. We're dropping down over the left knee. You can reach that ball away from you as well. Just make sure your hand's on the floor if you're reaching the ball away. And we're holding that for 8, 7, 6, 5. Remember, sit back towards your heels. 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Come back onto your knees. I'm going to push the ball away. Onto all fours. Tuck your toes underneath you. We're pushing up into down dog. Feet hip width apart. Heels to the floor. Take the head through to the knees. Shoulders down the back. Breathing through that stretch. And then we soften through the knees. Walk the hands back towards your feet. On the out breath, rounding back up, stacking that spine. Excellent work, everyone. Well done. Good session. I'm going to stop recording.